Welcome back to It Was Never a Phase Cards. We are currently seeing another leg up on Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes. Now this is mainly going to be contributed to Paldea Evolved, but we are seeing some other boxes start to move, and this may be the start of another leg up overall. So you guys are going to want to pay attention to this video, but we're going to jump straight into this. And it wasn't that long ago, I think like around 2 weeks ago, I was saying Paldea Evolved, I'm more bullish than ever, and it kind of seemed like it was a little bit like Fusion Strike. It's kind of the vibe I was getting before when Fusion Strike, before it started to run up. Not to the same extent, right? I'm not saying that this is going to necessarily do that that quickly, but I was just seeing prices starting to rise and supply starting to like slowly creep. People weren't really wanting to sell Paldea Evolved, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now on TCG Player. You can see, look at the current quantity listed as of this recording. This is Thursday, June 26th. We're looking at the booster box right here. 109 currently listed on TCG Player, and then the median price is just under $400, and we're seeing a big leg up, right? Essentially going from 290 up to 340. However, most recent sale 360, and currently lowest listeds are in the $350 range. So this is continuing to move up in value. Now, obviously the Magikarp being a huge part of why this is currently moving, because it's seeing a lot of attention right now with the PSA 10 price increase. We'll talk about that in a second as well, but around 16% gain just in the past month. So jumping up quite a bit in the past month, and on the 3-month chart, obviously looking pretty crazy, 51%. And then if you want to really kick yourselves, look at the 1-year chart, 168%. A year ago, this was $128 booster box. So below, well below MSRP right there. It didn't cross MSRP till looks like the end of the year, beginning of this year. So pretty much going from MSRP of like 160 up to around $350 and climbing. So it'll be important to keep an eye on this moving forward. And this is how I was feeling when I was checking this out.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
What's the procedure? Okay. So it's happening. Paldea is up, and then comparatively, this is something that is very interesting. Look at where Silver Tempest is at, right? Silver Tempest, market price $356, most recent sale $343. Similar listed median price around $400. This one's a little bit less, but you can see more boxes available, okay? And right around the same price. So Paldea Evolved has already gotten up to Silver Tempest level pricing. So that is extremely interesting. Silver Tempest is a set that I still really like from the Sword and Shield era. I do believe in it a lot long term. Even at this price point, I still believe in both of these sets. Now Paldea, not very likely to get any sort of reprints. It's very old. They're focusing on newer sets, the more popular sets, if you will, that need more reprint attention time. That doesn't mean that they can't still reprint this set at some point, but it's looking less and less likely by the day, right? And it's already at Silver Tempest levels, and we are seeing other product move as well in addition to the booster box. Look at what the Pokemon Center ETB is doing, still continuing to climb. Look at the listed median price on this, $426. Current market's at $350, but lowest listeds are in the 370s and 380s. So you have the Pokemon Center ETBs in low supply, only 22 boxes currently listed on TCG Player. So Paldea PC ETBs on their way up as well. Now, if these prices look a little bit expensive to you, that is understandable, right? They are, right? These booster boxes at these prices and the PC ETBs at these prices are expensive. There is another option. Now, these traditionally don't do as well. They traditionally lag behind in pricing and doesn't necessarily equal what a booster box is going to equal. But when sets get hot, if you're looking to pick up just some sealed product just to have of the set, sleeved packs, given enough time, will do well. Like I said, they just won't do quite as well as, you know, some of the more premium products. But if you're going to pick up packs, I would avoid loose packs and I would get at least the sleeved packs. So then you can have some if you're wanting to have to throw away in your closet and just forget about it and come back and see some nice gains. So there are affordable ways to get into these sets. So, you know, I totally understand when they're like, okay, no, who cares about the $400 booster box and the $400 ETB? I can't afford that. Well, here's an option that you can afford and you can get in the set. And you can slowly buy these over time and you can get a decent sized position with these. So sleeved will do well long term. Obviously, if you can focus on the better product, focus on the better product. But just wanted to throw that out there as an option. And then we got to talk about the Magikarp again. Now, PSA 10 pricing has come down. We'll talk about that in a second. But we are seeing the near mint raw price come up. This is Magikarp 203, the illustration rare, the chase card of the set, and it is up around 10% in the past month. It was under $200, around $192, and now it's up over $200, $211. You can see there's one listed at $211, then it jumps up into the $220s, a few more sales, and we're in the $240s. So we'll see if we can get back up to that price. I'm not sure. You can see a big uptick in sales right here. June 19th, there was the most amount of sales on the uptick. So that was when things were starting to get crazy with the carp price. It is still down if you look at it from its peak in February of 276. So it's definitely down off of that peak right there. But it's up 64% on the year still, and it looks like the 1 year low was around 104 in September of last year. So Magikarp definitely coming down overall, but now starting to bounce back up. So another one to keep an eye on as far as how high it'll go. Something very interesting because, you know, this is an illustration rare, but it is breaking the mold as far as like what a chase card can be for an illustration rare. And the horrible print quality is the big factor, I think, that's driving this. And that's what we're seeing on the PSA 10 side. Now, this is the most recent sale. This was yesterday. This one went on bids, PSA 10 for $19.50. Now, before that, we had seen it go as high as $3,000. So the PSA 10 pricing has come down quite a bit, but still up overall from the beginning of the month. So last sold to just over 2,000, 2,300, 2,000 crossed out. Another one at 2,000, 2,200, 2,200, 2,200, 2,200. So it seemed like it was normalizing a little bit more around 2,200. If we go back quite a bit, beginning of the month, June 2nd, 1,400, 1,600, 1,270, 1,400, 1,500. So I would say around 1,100, 1,500. So that gain right there into essentially around 2,000 currently is still a pretty big jump up in price in a short period of time. Albeit if you were one of the ones who bought at like 3K, then obviously you're down quite a bit already. But so yeah, the carp in a 10 is very, very, very difficult to hit. Just the print quality on this set is really bad. So this is one of the tougher cards. Long term would be interesting to see how this does over a long period of time. Give it even a few more years, and we'll see. It'll be interesting to come back and see what kind of pricing we see on this. Also, regular ETBs are moving up as well. It does make sense, obviously. Booster box and carp leading the way. Everything else will kind of follow. So this is currently what we're seeing as far as the ETBs. Looks like in April they were at a low of 74, 75. They haven't crossed that $100 mark yet, but they are getting there. Market price at $91 for the regular ETB and listed median at 97. So they're on their way. Just a matter of time until this is this regular ETB is 100. Now, we are seeing another set start to take a little bit of a leg up as well. It's not just all Paldea. We have Twilight Masquerade that's starting to move a little bit more as well. Current market price at $271, listed median at $300. However, the thing that you'll notice that there's a big difference on is the supply. There's 430 boxes currently listed on TCG Player. So this is going to it's going to be a little bit slower. You can see lowest listeds are at 287, 290, pretty much 290, which 290 is above the current market price. So we're seeing this leg up happen already. And then we're right there, getting close to that median price of 300. So Twilight Masquerade on its way towards $300 per box, with Paldea Evolved, just to go back real quickly, on its way to around $400 per box. We'll see how long each of them take to hit those respective numbers, but they currently are carrying the way for Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes. So people want to chase the Carp, people want to chase the Greninja, and we can pull up the Greninja real quick. I didn't have it pre-pulled up, but we'll pull it up right here. And just to take a quick look at it, I haven't checked on it in a minute, but we'll look at near mint copies here. This one's still on the decline. It looks like it's not bouncing back fully yet. You can see down 25% in the past 3 months. We might have to zoom out a little bit more to see the peak. Looks like the peak was around 410, so it's dropped massively. From 410 down to 275 is a real big drop off when it comes to the Greninja. And then if we zoom out right here, you can see it's up a little bit on the 1 year chart, but it was just trending up and up and up for a long time, up until February. So that's a very, very hard fall off, but probably a bit overvalued at 410. So we'll see where it normalizes at. Looks like lowest listeds right now are at 271, so a tinge below market. But yeah, people still do want to chase the Greninja, but Paldea with the Magikarp stealing a little bit of the spotlight. So we're kind of seeing Paldea lead the way, and you have other sets, like obviously if you want to watch, the one to watch for is Evolving Skies. You can see as this also, by the way, I know Sword and Shield, not Scarlet and Violet, but chugging ahead nonetheless. And just, I also wanted to talk comparatively about, once again, the supply, just because I do think it's interesting. 202 boxes of Evolving Skies currently on TCG for comparison. So there's less supply of Paldea currently listed. Now, Evolving Skies obviously took a big leap right here. Not that long ago, 1,300 up to almost 2,000. So that's driving some people to sell. However, there's a lot of people holding back Evolving Skies, knowing that it's going to continue to rise in price. And I would say that's kind of the same case with Paldea Evolved. I would be holding back on some of that product. If it was me, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm not selling any sealed product, any of these booster boxes, right? I'm going to sit on them for more long term, seeing much bigger gains to come in the future. But we're seeing what Paldea is doing is what Evolving and Fusion Strike are doing, just on a smaller scale. You can see here too, you notice the listed median price is around 2,500. That doesn't surprise me if we hit that this year. Could hit it this year, could be next year. It really depends on just how quickly things continue to move for this set. But this is just like, this set sets the bar. And once this set moves, Fusion Strike and the other sets will probably follow. And then after that, then Scarlet and Violet will follow. And it's just that comparative game of, if Sword and Shield's up here, Scarlet and Violet's, like, if there's a drastic difference, right? Then Scarlet and Violet's going to leg up. And then, you see what I'm saying? They're going to just kind of keep kind of doing that. Is kind of what we've been seeing. For the most part, obviously there are sets that are exceptions to that rule. It's not like a necessary one-for-one kind of thing, but that's what we've seen in the past. And we definitely have seen sales hit over $2,000, but some of the few of the lowest are currently around that price. And just a few boxes in it, it's already going to start to jump up to 2,100, then 2,250, then 2,500. And then you see right here, this seller has 57 boxes at 2,500. So that'll be interesting once we get to that point. And then after that, I mean, this is what people have it listed at. There's not that many on here, but 2,800, 3,000, 5,000. So that's kind of what the future looks like. Obviously, Evolving Skies is a much different beast than Paldea, but 2,500, 3,000 a box. As far as Evolving Skies goes, doesn't seem out of the question by any stretch of the imagination. Seems very doable, very plausible. So yeah, that is something that is just a matter of time. And Paldea, starting to work its way up. Things are working quick, right? Sets aren't really that old comparatively. So there's a lot of attention when it comes to Scarlet and Violet. And SV era is about to end with Black and White. We don't have any more booster box sets coming out. All the booster boxes have been released, with Destined Rivals being the last one. And then we're going into the Mega Evolution block. And, that will be very interesting to see how Scarlet and Violet ages once it's in that slot that like Sword and Shield is at, where it's the last, it's the era before. So that's something that's going to be fascinating to see moving forward. But I think Paldea, I'm still as bullish as ever on Paldea Evolved. I just had to do a little bit of an update on it because we're starting to see another leg up. So we'll see if this triggers more movement amongst other sets as well. But just something to keep an eye on. And obviously, I will update you guys and as we do post daily. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And also make sure you have notifications on for Sunday, June 29th. We'll be doing a live stream ripping tons of Destined Rivals. Well, I have more about that coming soon. So we're going to be ripping a ton of packs, including a ton of Destined Rivals. So super excited, looking forward to that. Sunday, June 29th. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.